Back again with another one.
Another dope.
BMore4Real. What's with y'all today, man? What's up, man? How you feeling?
I'm so like, I keep saying that. You know what I'm saying? One of them
We're gonna give everybody a second to join the stream.
Let's go about talking about my week. BMore4Real.
BMore4Real. Man, thanks again for another week, man. All praises to the Most High. Another week, another Wednesday. They just come so fast now. We here to help you get through the week, man. Get your weekly dose of reality right here on BMore4Real. Let's go. Let's get a round of applause. How you feeling, Uncle Wayne? How you feeling?
Hey, this has been a rough week for me. I'm telling you, health-wise, I ate something, and I'm telling you, it fought me all night.
Really?
Yeah, one of them mornings you said, thank God I made it.
For real, man. For real. Let's be more for real. Rough week, man. Rough week, man. Let's step it up, Uncle Wayne, man. Rough week.
But you know what? I can't worry about a rough week. Some people's weeks are 10 times worse than mine. They didn't make it.
Right.
You know, in that case, let's give a moment for one can't be with us.
Let's get a moment of silence for those who cannot be with us.
Absolutely.
And this BMore4Real. Let's go, man. We in here, man. We appreciate everybody that's going to stream, view the channel, everybody under the sound of our voice. We will hope that you like, share, subscribe, do all that, comment, do all that good stuff. Let us know, man. We care about the people, man. It's just been a wild week for me. You know what I'm saying? It's always work.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. You work.
Yeah, it's always work. It's always work to be done. I honestly feel like as a man, you know, if you don't work, you don't eat. So, you know, part of the process, like when we had Dennis on here, he said something that was profound to me. He was like, man, people always talk about they got a lot on their plate. They got a lot on their plate, but if you didn't have anything on your plate, then you wouldn't be full. So that actually stuck with me. Shout out Dennis. Shout out BMore4Real. Shout out BMore4Real. Man, you know how we do, man. We only speak the real, man. We appreciate each and every single viewer that tunes in with us every single week. If you're new to the channel, make sure you definitely like, share, subscribe. We got something new going on today. We are actually streaming live on Instagram as well. So if you don't have our Instagram, we are at BMore4Real Podcast on Instagram. We have BMore4Real Podcast on Gmail. We have BMore4Real Production on Cash App if you want to support us. You know what I'm saying? We have BMore4Real Podcast on Facebook. We live on Facebook, YouTube, man, all that. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Definitely always support the brethren. Let's get a round of applause for that.
When we add it on, let's grow.
That is good.
Because a lot of times people don't like BMore4Real to be for real.
Right.
Then as our audience loves that we are for real. But we are going to be nothing but for real.
Right.
Like it or not, y'all.
Like it or not, we here. We here. So we want to get into one of the viewers. See, that's why we like people to view, because we have viewer feedback. And so we have today what we're going to do for you guys is actually give some of the viewer feedbacks on topics that they would like us to speak about. This is BMore4Real. So look, keep in mind, we're gonna give y'all a chance, man. Everybody who's easily offended, anybody who does not have thick skin, anybody who cannot handle mature conversation, anybody under the age of 17, you have the chance to leave the stream now. Again, you have the chance to leave the stream now. So we want to deal with adults,
You've
mature
been
people. We want to have all the
warned.
conversations. You already been warned. You had the time. So this is some viewer feedback that we got, you know what I'm saying? And we appreciate viewer feedback.
Yes,
And
that keeps us growing.
this particular viewer, her name was Brittany, by the way. Shout out Brittany. We appreciate you
Brittany.
always. Shout out Brittany. Let's go ahead and give Brittany a round of applause.
Yes, that's it.
She the one that contributed to the topic here. So Brittany wants us to identify household roles. Oh, and that's a deep one. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of podcasters out here, and trust and believe, we already know that market is saturated, but we're going to talk about it anyway because this be more for real. We got to. What say you, Uncle Wayne?
But see, if you understand why these teenagers are out of control now, it's because of the role in the home. Because if the father was in the home, things would be different. Now, if the young man was turning 15 and 9 months, the father would say, listen, at 15 and 9 months, you're going to work on your permit. And when you're 18, you get your first car. So when a friend of his say, oh, yo, let's go steal a car, you know what he'll say? I'll get my license in a little bit. I'm not stealing no car. I'm not going with y'all. But see, and when the father's not in the home, they were like, oh, really? Let's steal a car? Nobody paying attention to us anyway. We might as well get more trouble. That's what happens because the man need to be the head of the household. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at the creator if you don't like what I'm saying. Who was created first? Was it not man? And who did God create woman for? Man.
Exactly.
Do you understand? You get upset with that, but it's a true fact because when a man is in a household, it requires some discipline. It don't requires that you don't know where your children are. How can they be teenagers in your home and you don't even know where they are? What kind of sense does that make? That makes no sense at all.
But as far as the roles
about
though in the household, like can we define some roles, some simple household roles? Are there roles? Have the roles changed? Like what say you on that topic?
Listen, the role, head of the household, the man. That's the role.
Okay.
Tell me the other role.
Now, what does that entail?
This entails being responsible and taking care of the household and making some rules that make the family moves correctly. Do you understand? But everyone can't be the head of the household. Remember we said that all those chiefs and no Indian sort of thing.
A whole lot of chiefs, no Indians.
And no Indians. Someone has to be able to make those decisions. And some of those decisions are tough. But if it is for the greater good, let me tell you for the roles. The people say, well, there are no men in the houses because of the welfare back in the day. Remember we talked about that?
Right.
Remember when it says the man in the household?
Yeah.
And we had this thing, and I'm like, who pushed the man out of the house? You know, you say that. Remember, you say that the man had to leave the house because the woman could not have the food stamps or the welfare. Remember, this was the thing, how we pushed men out of the household back in the day.
Right.
But I say, look at it and think rationally. Mm-hmm. If we were men in a household, if that's my home, I'm the head of my household, she just not going to get the food stamps or the welfare. I'm not leaving my home. You get it?
Well, I mean, I do get it. And I think a lot of the household dynamic has been destroyed. I think a lot of what we have been talking about, I think, well, to be honest, who destroyed it? Oh. And look, let's be more for real podcast. I don't care how people feel. The black woman destroyed the household because she replaced the man with the benefits. And another thing was the degree, because now look, when we get paid, when we get money and all that stuff, the first thing we do is look out for our family. Very few men, I ain't gonna say it's the majority. You got some men that don't, that get money and forget about their kids, but for the majority, especially the black man, we are the most involved in our children's lives and things like that. So with that being said, you got to look at the choices that they will face. You know what I'm saying? The woman can get child support. She can get alimony. She has incentives to basically not be a part of this relationship. And then on top of that, she may have her own job where she's getting paid well. And then on top of that, she may have a degree in which she's very highly skilled and sought after in that field, in that particular field. So I think they created the competition dynamic like we've been talking about for weeks as well. A house divided against itself will not stand, because when you have the mother and father competing to see who
Who
got
the
the
head of
bigger
the household,
cojones.
right?
You know what I'm saying? It's never going to turn out good. It's just never going to turn out good.
God knew that when He created us. That's why He did what He did. He
Right.
knew this.
Right.
You know, everyone can't want to be the leader of the household. And I still say we have to blame the man. You don't leave your home. I don't care if the your home where the mother get the benefits is the father not in the home, then she just don't get the benefit. We have to pull together and work harder. We got to build the bond together. We can no longer make excuses for the black man. We just can't. No more. We are becoming our own worst enemy.
Well, what you mean by don't leave? Because if you are evicted, essentially you are put out. You feel what I'm saying? So look, I've heard this all my life. You know what I'm saying? I've heard women talk about, I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I don't need a man for ish. You know what I'm saying? I've rarely ever heard a man say the same thing in retrospect. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need a woman. I don't need a woman for ish or whatever. It actually seems like the most successful men make sure that they keep a woman beside them. You know what I'm saying? That's their spill. That's their
Several women. That's the problem.
But they keep them.
Several.
But they keep them.
You
feel what I'm saying?
You got to listen to the females, or you got to. And this is the thing. I have never in my life heard of a woman putting a good man out of the home. That I had. I mean, maybe you had. I just don't. I've heard them call and cry to me. You know what I mean? I'm that counselor. I'm that Uncle Wayne. I heard them call and cry. Oh, I got this and this.
I have.
But when I asked them what was the reason, you understand that they really got put out.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't one thing. It wasn't two things. It was a whole bunch of things.
Mm-hmm.
Women don't just put out good men.
I would disagree with that.
Okay, now give me an example of one. Talk to me.
Well, I would say that from my experience, women like bad guys. You know what I'm saying? They like guys that don't show them that much attention, even though they say they don't. You know what I'm saying? Because the guys that do show them attention, they don't show them any.
Wow.
So for me, I don't listen to women per se with their words. I listen to I look at how they move. I do that for men too, but especially women, because women always try to be politically correct. They say, "Oh, I want a good man. I want a da." But the whole time, we could just see your repertoire of men that you choose. You choose gangsters, niggas is killers, robbers, scammers. You know what I'm saying? A good man is not in your preference. Let's be real about the situation.
A good man can't be a gangster.
Then you wanna. I ain't saying that.
I'm just saying.
That's a different topic. I'm just saying what you choose and what you prefer versus what you get and what you want are two totally different things. What you say you want.
They want to talk till they get beat.
No, they want a thug pastor who's gentle but still stern and all this other fairy tale stuff that you would imagine. I mean, the list goes on. No, I can give you countless examples of that. I mean, there is so much internet footage of this. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the reason why I was saying that while you cater to the delusion, you feel what I'm saying? While you catering to people's ego, you are feeding the delusion that people are in. And most of the people that's delusional are women, because women seem to think that they are subject to the same things as men. No, the thing is that as long as you fall under protection, then you're not subject to the same thing as men. But if you don't have a man protecting and guiding for you, my sister, you are vulnerable. That's just the truth.
Wow, that's deep. Now I know the comments you're gonna hey, bring the comments on, because that conversation was deep. Hey,
hey, we ain't got no comments yet. If y'all got some comments, definitely. Brittany, you did the post, man. Look, if y'all got some comments,
we got to give Brittany applause for that one. Though. We had to give it.
Yeah, we got. As well too, you know what I'm saying? I know her personally. She's a married woman and things like that. She has kids. She
happily
has
married.
Yeah, I would assume on the outside looking in. I
just thought I had. No offense, it's just everyone married ain't happy.
Yeah, I would assume that she's definitely happily married. You know what I'm saying? But I think her issue was that a lot of other podcasters that talk about the subject, these people are already rich. They don't go through common problems. They don't go through the common household things that people go through. Now, one of the things that has changed over the years is the dynamic of the breadwinners. And I think that's where most families fall
That's
apart at. You remember the Martin show
that's
when
it.
Gina started making more
But
than Martin?
yeah.
Martin started acting crazy. He like, oh man, he just started acting all whole. He just started acting
Because
crazy, man, because
it's
he couldn't
true.
take it. You feel what I'm saying?
It hurts
Yeah.
certain men. And listen to this. That's how society. Remember the third thing you said. Society sets it up. It's truly because a female can have different turns. Like if you go to colleges, most of them are females. Look at this working society. Most females in scrubs.
Right.
Look what we have. That
Right.
is usually more of the situation that we have.
Right.
But you have to understand this. With me becoming mayor, not to switch subjects, I have to bring that up. That's why I'm going to even the playing field. Do you get what I'm saying? Because now, when a female have at the scrubs on, I'm going to pull a brother right next to him making good money too. He may be an HVAC technician, he may be an electrician, a welder, whatever. He's going to make good money as well.
Right.
Then in the household, he will have a word because it's kind of hard when our brothers running our mouth and the lease not in your name. All you know, all they do is pick up the phone, 911, you gone. You understand? So,
and that's what I was talking about. So, does that necessarily make men right or wrong? Because now, when you look at the whole dynamic of the situation, the man is there to protect. So, I think that
man is there to what?
To protect.
Really?
Yeah. So I no, matter of fact, I know that because if something were to happen where somebody were to break in, you're not going to ask. I don't care who the lease name is. And if somebody go to break in that same house, regardless of who name on that lease, if there's a man and a woman in there, a man is not going to look at his woman and say, go see who's breaking in this house.
Have you been around my neighborhood?
So a man going to tell a woman, go see who's going to break in the house.
Listen.
No, that's not a man.
Let me tell you, where my neighborhood is Penn North.
That's not a man.
Women will jump up quicker than most men. I lied not to you.
Well, they are the man. And see, that's the thing. A lot of
being head of the household.
That's the thing, and that is the thing. When they get to that way, you feel what I'm saying, and they do deserve a certain respect, and that should go without saying. When somebody's paying the bills and footing the bills, they are the head of the household. That deserves a certain level of respect.
But some men,
you feel what I'm saying,
are good at housekeeping. They are really good. They're good at keeping.
But that's not our job to keep the house. We got to fight the world.
Why is it not our job? There are some.
We got to fight the world.
I got a lot of nephews, and this is I had to have this conversation with some of them. Some of them are extremely good at taking care of the home, better than the mother of this child. I'm telling you. He's good at cooking, cleaning, and taking care of the kid, much better than the mother of his child. But it don't mean he don't supposed to.
Well, see, that's where you would
fill me in on that one.
Well, I mean, that's where you would get into the anomalies because most of the time that is not the case. When you look at the nature and the history of human history, a lot of times people back in the days, humans were hunter gatherers, and not just humans, more specifically men. They were hunter gatherers. They'd go out, they would hunt the food, they would kill it, they would bring the food back home, and wifey or cooking, she'll hold down the food. She teach the children first, though. The woman, it starts in the house, the children raised in the house with the mother don't go nowhere. She don't got to go to work. So that whole dynamic, that's what I was saying. This society has flipped that dynamic because a lot of the times to be more for real, again, this is be more for real, like, share, subscribe, man. But a lot of times to be more for real, in order to take care of a household, it requires more than one income. It requires more than one income, which means the mother and father is going to now have to work. So now a lot of the family roles have to be kind of like split. You feel what I'm saying? Like sometimes wifey can't do the dishes. Nigga, you're going to have to scrub a dub. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes she can't do the laundry. You're going to have to fold and wash. You feel what I'm saying?
I guarantee tonight is better that way.
I don't think so.
Look, if you do your part, I guarantee you the night is better.
I don't think so.
Hey, listen, if you want a happy relationship, pull your weight. Do your part. Watch how things differ. But if you that type, oh, a woman's supposed to do this and I'm supposed to do this, brother, that's why you're going to cheat because you ain't going to get what you got, what you're supposed to get at home. Take care of your responsibilities. I'm telling you, things will be better. You know what? This is the thing of a household. Most black men don't know how to run a household.
Oh, I disagree with that. Hold on, we got a couple comments and see. Look, I had to look at the live on Facebook because I cannot see the Facebook comments. But what that does allow me to do is extend the opportunity to all of our Facebook viewers to go over to our YouTube channel, to the BMore4Real podcast on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe and comment on the YouTube so that your comment can be read and I can potentially put the comment up on the screen.
And some brothers can help me out here. You want to make?
As I digress, Cousin Ellis said, we provide different aspects to a relationship outside of money. A good person can be removed if someone thinks the grass is greener. She said, I do agree that both sexes are needed, but why does struggle equal love? LOL, my man better be able to protect. And then she said, a man role based on what we are taught is to provide, ideally the bulk, protect, and be able to be the head. I was taught the woman was to manage the house and kids, but I don't see how that is possible in today's dynamics financially. Men are falling behind financially. And so that would be another thing though too. I appreciate you, cousin, man. I appreciate you, cuz, man. That's my cousin, man. Let's go ahead and get it. I tend to disagree with that, and this fine and dandy. You know what I'm saying? We family and stuff like that. What part
do you disagree with?
I disagree with several parts. You know what I'm saying? I agree. First of all, I'm gonna tell you, I agree with the societal dynamic has changed the way that we have to go about running our households. But what I don't agree with is let me show you exactly what she said. Let's go. Let me show you. She said I don't see how it's possible, but she said men are falling behind financially. First of all, men are paid more than women. Even black men are paid more than black women. That's a fact. Number two is that sometimes, well, a lot of times in this today's society, especially what I see from my generation, I know you're a little older than me, but check this out. In my generation, a lot of the women are superficial. So while I just heard it. Let me give you an example. I just heard a woman say, look, she don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory and eat. So my question would be to her is, where the hell do you take yourself out to eat when you go out to eat? Do you go eat at Ruth Chris and all these fancy steak houses and dinner houses when you take yourself out to eat? Or you want a man to provide you with a lifestyle that you can't even provide for yourself? So that's the problem. I think that a lot of women seek the Fendi, the Gucci, the Louis, the Prada, you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. They want the roses and they want the grass, the picket house, when that's not even an average family. You know what I'm saying? And so so often that we become superficial, that we start to live above our means, and breaking my back and breaking my sweat and tears for a woman that's gonna just run it down to the ground, trying to spin on stuff that we can't take it to the grave, is not my ideal woman.
Ooh.
That's what I would say.
Man, let's flip that other side of the coin. And very impressive, understandable. But brothers who's doing a little better fake the phone. When they find somebody, a female they really like, they throw it on. They put it all in there. And at the beginning, that's where we fall at. They take it all the way to the wedding. Remember I said that?
Mm-hmm.
Playing that role. But when a brother allow a woman to have a big, gigantic wedding and don't prepare for the marriage, is doomed for failure straight off the beginning. Because a brother at the head of the household has to prepare their relationship for marriage. Marriage lasts forever. Get it?
We set it off up in here, Uncle Wayne. I do get it, and I understand. Trust me, I understand. I understand the whole dynamic of the family role. See, look, it's traditional for a man to provide and protect. Let's get that understood. We already know that the man provide, he protect, and he disciplines. You feel what I'm saying?
Who said that?
Well, it's not a matter of saying, it's just a matter of nature dictating. Men are naturally bigger, stronger than women. So when you look at it, we're naturally put on this earth to, first of all, protect, since we are bigger and stronger.
Have you ever seen a big, strong man have a cold?
Yeah.
A common cold?
Of course, but
have you seen how he's weak as water?
Okay, but that's something different. Now, listen, the woman's job is to nurture. Now, while you are sick, and see, this is the way I like to put it. The areas in which women are strong at, men are weak. And the areas where men are strong at, women are weak. We're not created to be equal. We are created to balance each other out.
There we go.
I would say that.
Balance.
I would say that. while you may, like you said, you may have men that are better with kids and stuff like that. Sometimes I feel like I'm better with my children than their mother, but I know deep down inside, naturally, that's
Hey,
not true.
I didn't have
I
nothing
know
to do with
naturally that's
that.
not
For
true.
the record,
They
you know
love
what I mean?
they love their
Don't
mother,
sue Uncle Wayne.
and they always will. If you had a you had a
You
good
got
mother,
the
you know what I'm
most
saying?
impressive
So I mean, like
ever
it's just the truth.
children
It's just
ever,
the truth.
y'all.
A mother's love is no love like a mother's love. You know what I'm saying?
It's no
Fathers,
mother like a father's love. It's
eh,
no, like you
it's just
said, we
different.
need both.
It's different. Yes,
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, in a boy's life, a young man's life, he definitely needs the father. That
exactly.
is a must, a
Exactly.
plus. Let me tell you why. Because raised by a mother, it shows. Look at our men now. You can tell they mostly been raised by females. Look, listen, once upon a time, we didn't used to tell our feelings. Now, the younger generation, that's all they do is whine, and complain.
We got a
And
comment.
whine.
We got a comment. Appreciate you, cuz my family showing up and showing out on this
Show
one.
out and
She
bring
said,
it to her.
she said, yes, I do. Remember, I cannot see the comments on Facebook, so if y'all will, please go over to
You got
YouTube.
double check, on that. Yeah.
She said, yes, I do. She said, a man should provide, a man should protect and provide. He should only take on a woman when he can afford to invest in her. And see, I love you, cuz. I love you, cuz, for that one. But I'm gonna clap it up for you. We're gonna clap it up for you, first of all. We're gonna have to.
She went there on that
We're gonna have to do that.
one. To bring her in again.
But this is where I disagree. This is where I disagree because the man's supposed to provide, man's supposed to protect, and all that stuff, and we can't even get into it if you can't invest in her. Where is the investing in the man? Where does the man's investment pay off on his behalf? What is he getting in return other than just makeup and a woman that looks good, smell good, and has a wet thing down there? You feel what I'm saying? It's just like it doesn't make sense. So if back in the day, right? So I seen relationships where people came from nothing and they started out and they built something together.
Mm-hmm.
So my problem with that is that if a man doesn't have it and he already has to come with it, right? My problem is that essentially you will never be number one in that man's life because you wasn't there before the struggle.
Wow.
You got there after the finish line. He crossed the finish line when he was successful. So who's more important to that man, you or his job or his career? If you want to be more important to a man than his career, you had to be there before then. And see, the thing is that a lot of women don't operate off potential anymore. They want a nigga to have it. You know what I'm saying? They want a nigga to have it. And that's that's just the God's honest truth. Let's be more for real.
You're right. That would be more for real. And it's a true fact. That's exactly what they want. But listen to this. Remember, if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if that guy there provided, if he's provided and just financially and not giving the rest, see, you got to be careful what you wish for. You just may get it. Do you understand? I think love needs to be deeper than just finances. It just has to be.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because that same man has to teach that family and them children that finances are not the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's deeper than that. Because if not, the whole family gonna be off whack.
I agree.
You know
so
what
much.
I mean?
I definitely agree.
Man.
We got a comment, Brother Sterling. Appreciate you, man. It's been a few weeks.
Thank you,
back
sir.
to back, man. Brother Sterling, we appreciate you nonetheless.
Thank you, sir.
He said, not to agree or disagree, but this is 2023. And we are moving towards 2024.
Absolutely.
The relationship dynamics aren't the same. We have to understand that you need to have a woman to have your back when something happens. I can't read the rest of it. We need to know that a woman has. We need a woman to have our back, and I agree with that. Let's clap it up for Brother Sterling, man. Let's clap it up for Brother Sterling.
And a good woman will always have your back. You remember I said that a good woman will always have your back.
Yeah, and you know what?
A good woman will always have your back.
I would go even as far as to say my own father, because my mother and father was married, but years and years before I was even born. But he used to always say, beside a good man is a great woman. So what I got out of that was like, in order to make a good man, you need a great woman just to produce a good man.
Because
so I mean,
you bounced off before you became who you are. Y'all worked it out. You bounced off of her. You felt some things. She pushed you when you was weak. Y'all challenged each other. You understand? That's what made you great. And they knew your weaknesses. They covered for you. Those were the things. That bond and lifts you. Listen, when the world is unkind and you turn that key and open up that door and you hear your name, daddy, daddy, and you know that your wife says, what you want for dinner? What's there? Stop that moment right there. That's life.
There's
That's where it's
no greater
supposed to
feeling
be.
in the
None.
world. Seriously. Brother Sterling
None of
said.
that.
Brother Sterling said as well, man. Brother Sterling, we're gonna get right back to you. He said society has glorified a superficial life in black societies. But you can't say that mass incarceration, the pushing of drugs in our community, and the separation of families in need of aid hasn't basically took a toll on us. I don't know what you wanted to add at the end of that, but yeah, we appreciate you again, Brother Sterling. We appreciate you again, Brother Sterling. So he said, "You're down. She'll help. She'll help you get back." It is a day and time where it is almost impossible to have one income and not be in the streets or making some OnlyFans mess. Hey, man, we got some comments, man. Y'all bringing them in, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Let's go ahead and clap it up for our viewers. Let's look through some comments real quick. Let's run through some more comments real quick.
It's absolutely true because it's very little out here to be productive in Baltimore City. It's a true fact. That's where the problem coming in now. With these politicians, nothing left. You can't have an average household with one person going to work. It is no way. Listen, for the child to get into anything in school, you see the fees. You need a part-time job to pay for the kids' activities.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Some of that tuition.
fee for this.
Yeah. Some of that tuition is more than what you make in a year. Right. More than what the average person makes in a year.
Absolutely. So you do need more than one income. Absolutely.
We got Village Studio NC. We appreciate you for the comment. He says society has glorified a superficial life in black societies, but you can't say that mass incarceration, the pushing of drugs in our communities, and the separations of family in need hasn't. So that we appreciate that, Village Studio. He said it hasn't impeded black men, hence creating an increase, in single mothers. I think women have somewhat stayed consistent about expectations of men. Wow, let's go ahead and clap that up, man. We appreciate you, man. Really, Village Studio NC, we appreciate that so much, man.
But we gotta get better. We do. We just, as black men, we have to get better. We have to be proud of who we are and take control over that family. Do you understand? That means be the head of the household. It don't make no sense to be living in a house and your name is not on the lease or the mortgage or the deed, my brother. That's first and foremost. Second of all, you need a license. You understand? I don't understand why our black brothers don't have licenses. That's another thing in the trade schools we putting in. Those classes of getting your licenses or will be in those classes because as brothers, we need licenses. You get pulled over, you need a license. I crack about this, but I told you, if you pull over, if you see a man and a woman in a car, you stop them and ask them who have a license. I guarantee you that the female have a license. I think the car will be in her name, the insurance will be in her name, where they live will be in her name. That's when I say we've got to pull ourselves together, yo. We do.
Yeah.
We got to get better at this. We have to be the leader of our.
And I agree with that. We gotta be the leader. Let's go ahead and clap it up for that. I agree with that. I agree with that. Now let me hold on. All right, before I even get into what I agree with, what I disagree with, we still got comments, and we appreciate all the comments, man. Sterling again, he said, "An honest day's pay doesn't seem to be enough to suit the needs of the average people anymore." And what is she doing while the man is out of the house making money and has no time to spend with her? That is a good question. That's a great question. I will argue that being a stay-at-home mom or dad.
Read that again.
I would be. He said an honest day's pay doesn't seem to be enough to suit the needs of the average people anymore. And what is she doing while the man is out of the house making the money and has no time to spend with her? And so that is a very valid question, and I appreciate that question so much. What I will say is that, being a full-time parent, stay-at-home parent is a full-time job, especially if those kids are babies. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? The sleeping patterns is messed up. They may sleep 3 hours here, may sleep an hour there, may be up for a couple hours, be crying. You know what I'm saying? That's a job really you can't clock out of. And I think that's a very important job because
No matter who's doing it.
we are raising the next generation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that would be the most important
But there
job
you go.
that's out there, essentially. You know what I'm saying? So if she's doing
If
that
we think
and
about
fulfilling
the
that
children
part,
are the most important.
right? If she's fulfilling that part of the obligation, then I can see, you know what I'm saying, and I can see where she's adding to and all this stuff,
And
what
think
she's
about
doing.
this. As a black man, don't you want to make sure the person that's taking care of your children are the best of the best? Think about it.
Right.
That should be the main thing, that someone's taking care of your children. So we start looking at it as your baby mother, and out there, she's the mother of your children, of what God has blessed you with.
Mm.
Do you see?
So Village
Blessing.
Studios NC says home should be a sanction for black men. Let's go ahead and clap it up, man. Come on, man. Let's do it, man. We
I
love
agree with
that,
that
man.
100%.
We love that.
So what
And-
about solutions?
And it should be a sanctuary for black women too, as well. And
Sanctuary for the
for
family.
any husband, for any wife, for any
For the
man, for any
family.
woman, for the family,
Absolutely.
for the
Yes.
children as well. Miss Lisa said, "Hey family, what's up, Miss
Yes,
Lisa,
Lisa,
baby? We
baby.
appreciate you, Miss Lisa, man." Oh, that's cause Village Studio NC. I didn't know that. I know you got your studio, the clay pottery, but now I see. I appreciate that.
Okay.
I appreciate that. We appreciate everybody, man. Miss Lisa said truth. Trey Sean said beginner parent period. Yeah, we got a lot of comments.
Again? What was that last comment?
He said begin a parent period. I'm not sure what that means. If you can clarify that. I'm just reading the comments and going down the list. We appreciate all the comments and viewers nonetheless. Our solutions to this household dynamic. My solution is very simple. Would be to know your role. How could you play? How could you play a role that you don't even know?
Know your role.
Know where you fit in. Know where you fit in the equation. And everybody's equation is not the same. It's really not. You know what I'm saying? Like he was saying, there's some dads that nurture better and are better at staying home, and some moms are able to go out and get that bread and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever works for your household works for your household.
There you go.
And then secondly, I would say to keep social media, to keep family, and to keep everybody that's outside of your relationship, keep them outside of your relationship. Because if you having a relationship trying to please other people, then chances are then your partner is displeased. So that would be,
and it ain't gonna work because
that
was very good, because you have to realize something. A family dynamic, very important. Everyone has a role to play in the family. It is what it is. But if you want a happy family, you got to know who the head of the household. You got to balance it out and live happily ever after. You know what I mean?
Balance.
Bam, bam, bam.
We appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all, man. We spent a lot of time on this subject, man. We really did. But look, what we want to go to is the topic of the night. And see, now look, this was some viewer feedback as well.
Topic of
Um,
the night, y'all.
Auntie Angel, if y'all know, y'all know. If you don't know, you don't know. Auntie Angel said skills learned in the streets. Now, let me break this down to you. What she was asking is, are skills that people learn in the streets, can they be applied to the professional realm? Can they be applied to, the corporate world and make you a better person? One of the examples that she had gave was that you have some people out here that are drug dealing, right? And they running blocks and all that stuff. You're managing people, you're managing money, you're managing product. And she's saying that those skills can absolutely be used legally to get you up out of the streets. What say you, Uncle
True
Wayne?
fact. You know what? I used to sell cars. This is a true story. When I was real young, right, 22, 22, and I was selling really nice, expensive cars and all. And I was out there selling, and mostly back in them days, most of the salesmen were white. And they weren't pretty good salesmen. They were horrible. And I used to come in the city and see some of my friends and neighbors and all, just like you said,
Right.
all out there selling one of the best. They can multitask in the sales field. If I could just bring a few of them up to the dealership, we'd have been the best selling dealership ever. You know what I'm saying? Because the skills and talents that we have are just so unique, but we don't capitalize on what we have. You know?
Let's go ahead and clap that up, man.
So we throw them skills out there. Instantly. You know what? Time for Uncle Wayne to pull them skills in.
And what better person to talk to than Uncle Wayne because he's running for mayor as
Absolutely.
well. Jessica Maldonado, hello. We appreciate you. We definitely appreciate all of our comments, all of our viewers, all of our subscribers, man. We'll go ahead and clap it up again for y'all as well. Let's go ahead and do that, man, because we definitely appreciate y'all. But now, my thing and where she was going at too, like I said, is like the drug dealers and all of them. They can have.
What is a drug deal? I'm just curious. What is a drug
I mean, you can go anywhere from the pharmacies. Let's be real. The pharmacies, they deal drugs, pharmacia. We'll get into that later. I told y'all I was going to attack English. Pharmacy come from the word pharmacia. Pharmacia come from the word drugs or sorcery is witchcraft. Same thing. So whether you believe it or not, as I digress, what I'm saying is the government deals drugs, people deal drugs. What we're talking about is drug dealers in this pure sense that they're doing illegal activities in the United States. You know what I mean? Dealing on the corners, open air market, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So drug dealers have an interesting set of skills. You know what I'm saying? Scammers have an interesting set of skills. And what we are here to notify the people of is that you can get out of your circumstances based on those skills. You don't always have to use those skills to create felonies and wind up back in jail and stuff like that. You can actually use those talents legally and apply those. I mean, you can almost, if you don't have a record, you can almost work in a bank. You know how to manage people, manage money. You know how to manage a branch. I mean, come on now. It's skills that you learn on the streets that we have on the streets that can be applied to real life. You have inmates that's in jail that create things all the time. I just seen a video where the inmate, excuse me, he created a lighter with batteries and cards and a safety pin. You know what I'm saying? And it, man, like I'm just telling you,
amazing.
Just
if we had more opportunities, we could.
If we apply what we know, you know what I'm saying?
And listen to this. I love when you say that, but we apply it where? Where can we apply it?
We apply it to the real world. We figure out how. We figure out how.
That's where the problem.
So it's called a niche. It's called a niche or a niche, however you call it, a niche or a niche. You got to figure out where you fit in the world. Much like how we was talking about household roles, we was also talking about teenagers because, and this is often forgotten as well too. A teenager's job is to fit in. People don't realize is that as teenagers, you're not a child anymore. You're not going through your personalities and temper tantrums. As a teenager, now you got a mind enough to know, all right, how do I fit in? And so a lot of teenagers from then and even well into adulthood struggle with their own personal identity because they don't know where they fit in. And a lot of those issues stem from people that clown you out because of your identity. We went through that when we had Shag and Flash on the podcast. If you don't remember that episode, check that out. I believe that's BMore4Real episode 23. But they were saying that when they was trying to dance and when they was dancing, they was doing all the club dancing, everybody would call them clowns and basically try to destroy their dream. But thank God that they had mind and decency enough to continue on the skills that they were given by the Most High and forget about what the naysayer said. And now look at them, millions and millions of views and followers and subscribers on YouTube and Instagram and all of that. That is what my ideal
I like that.
That's my ideal crisis right there.
We need to be teaching them that they're able to do that. See, they don't, as black young men, they don't have a support system. They don't have no one's teaching them to be black men. People get upset when I say this is a true fact. Who's teaching a young black man to be a black man? In order to hit black excellence, you first have to be black and proud. Do you understand? That's where we're missing at. So when you teach them better, they get better at life, and then they get better at a family life. Do you see? Because those teenagers are eventually going to become fathers. So if they screwed up as teenagers, they're going to be screwed up as fathers.
I think the culture really is what's dictating a lot of this behavior. So, I mean, as much as we would try to not be a product of our own environment, I really truly believe that we are a product of our own environment.
That we are.
For the majority. The people that make it out, the people that overcome that, these are the people that's obviously not a product of their own environment. But for everybody else, I would, if I had to give a number, I would say for 90% of everybody else, we go through certain things that other people do not go through. And so my issue with that is is that we lose faith and we lose hope. We lose that tunnel vision, right? Because where we want to go, a lot of people in our circle in and around us, they saying, yo, you ain't ish, you'll never be ish, yo, you can't do this because of this, you can't do this because of that. You got all these words telling you how you can't be.
And sometimes you believe it.
Right, and you start to believe it.
You
and
act
sometimes
on what you believe.
Sometimes the push that we need is the push that we need to tell ourselves is regardless of what everybody's saying right here in this moment, I know my purpose, I know my goal, and that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I'm going to do. I think we need some more problem solving skills. Depression is hitting our community in waves, and unaliving yourself and stuff like that, and overdoses and stuff like that. A lot of people deal with mental illnesses because it's you against you. It's a battle against you and yourself. It's not a battle against you and other people, because at the end of the day, another person doesn't dictate whether you come or go. You do. So now you got to take control back. You got to take that driver's seat back. But hold on, we got some comments. Village Studio, cousin Alice, she said yes. Street skills equal logistics, supply and demand, people management, PR, marketing, closing skills, etc. Yeah, you talking a whole bunch of sales and a whole bunch of all that language. I love that, man. Let's go ahead and clap it up for cuz, man.
Let me tell you something. When some of these brothers that's running these corners, these inner city, they're running their product, they're running the neighborhood, the corner stores, the baby mother, all these things. But when they were in school doing their tests, they said these people couldn't comprehend. If you will look at their test scores, because the rules and regulations that they set up for them, they said they couldn't comprehend. Now, that same person you said that can't comprehend is running this whole area. Imagine if you in school would have spent more time on him, his skills would have been used in other ways.
Right.
Get it?
Right.
But instead of getting to know the students that we have, we only get to know them on a test and the thing there. Do you understand?
Right.
So you don't understand who we are by the test. We can't comprehend. They're comprehending. They're just not comprehending what the school is kicking out.
Well, that's another thing as well too. So when we look at the school system and the education system, of course, that we would know what it's built for when we look into the etymology, for lack of better words, the etymology of the school system. That may not be the word. I would say maybe origin. The origin of the school system was not created really to make anybody successful, but it was really made and created for you to be a factory worker, which is why today they're still working on blackboards and have a classroom for the 30. I mean, it's still the same concept that it has been. And so this is why it's a need for change as well. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been doing things a certain way for a long period of time. So if we expect change to happen and we want change to happen, this is going to be the change. We need to be the change that we want to see. So with that being said, what I will say is this, is that the skills that we have, even as people on the street, not just black people, but white people, people that's in the trenches, you know what I'm saying? You forced into a different type of level, a different type of mindset. You forced to survive in a different way. So you got to be innovative. You got to be up to date, and you got to inundate people and saturate them with your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You got to saturate them with your charisma. You got to saturate them with your swag, your charm. You know what I'm saying? There's different ways to skin a cat. You know what I'm saying? It's more than one way to skin a cat. That's what they always used to say. You know what I'm saying?
And that's over for sure.
We have been skinning a cat in America the same way for a long time, as if this is the standard, when in fact it's really not. And really, we are the ones that need to set a standard for our own self. Yeah. And not just for black people, that goes for the community that you in. When you in a community, there has to be a certain standard that's set for the community. So that way you are well represented when it's time to represent. Right. But if your community trying to make some noise and you trying to make some change, but your community is out here raising ruckus, how much change you think you're going to make in spite of your turmoil and destruction? There can't be a whole lot. That goes even with American politics. America makes a whole lot of dumb, bad decisions in terms of world relations and things like that. And then you expect somebody to listen to you. That's why these other countries ain't listening to America. They don't give a damn about what America got to say, because America Americans have guns and we kill our own selves. And other countries don't even allow that shit. Look, even Great Britain don't even their citizens don't even have, their police don't even have guns. You understand what I'm saying? So like the way that we operate is different. So if we want to see a difference, we got to be the one that's different to begin with.
That's why you said we
We as a group.
black men need to make the change. We need to make the change. Nothing wrong with us making a change and they follow. We make some rules and regulations, policies and procedures that work, and they follow us. It's nothing wrong with that. Because listen, if white America was right with things, United States of America would be better. Do you understand? It needs some major changes. First of all, it doesn't make sense that 9 people makes the rules for the whole United States of America.
I thought it was 7. You said 9?
9.
Okay.
Who is that? Who is the 9 that I'm talking about?
The 7 world leaders? I don't know right offhand.
No, they ain't even the one. This is Supreme Justice of the United
Oh,
States
you talking about
of
that
America.
in the United States? Okay.
That's the sad part. It goes up to them. What they say goes. And then to find out they've been getting gifts and riding from the people on the top, it's like this is disruption all the way up to the top.
My thing is this as well. Our people don't have no goddamn on a backbone. What's up with people having a backbone and integrity? It's like when something happens, we just like, oh well, it just is what it is. We can't change it. We ain't gonna do nothing about it. That is not how people operated back in those days. You know what I'm saying? Even white people, even white women, they fought the white man tooth and nail so they get the right to vote and work and drive and have a driver's license. You know what I'm saying? Like they not just gonna sit back and let everything happen just to let it happen. When will our people get the backbone? We got let's go ahead and give her applause. Let's go ahead and comments. We want to make sure we keep up with the comments. Alpha Village Studio said it's all in how you write it up and sell your skills. If the block boy can move weight, he can run a business with the same passion. Yep. That's a fact.
Absolutely.
She said she got to bounce. She love what we are doing. We appreciate you too. We appreciate you too, cuz man. We can go ahead and clap. For sure. For sure. All right, so we got another one. Miss Lisa, she said, I love y'all have real conversations for real. It's BMore4Real. You already know. Appreciate you, Miss Lisa. You can go ahead and clap it up. You can go ahead and clap it up. Wholesale Tony, he said, damn, I thought that was Charleston White for a minute, yo. Come on, bro. Hey, yo, we appreciate you, man. Come on, man. We appreciate that. We appreciate that for sure. Miss Lisa said, Dylan, really? Nigga from BMore to New York. Right. Dylan, really, yeah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? No future in fronting, baby. You can see the real from the fake. Right.
Yes.
Right. You can see the real from the fake. Absolutely. Exactly. And that's what we here to do. We here to draw the lines. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the lines have been blurred. You feel what I'm saying? Between real and fake. But trust and believe that we here to blur the lines. And we got BMore Pod in the building, man. We appreciate you, man. Let's go ahead, man.
We've been waiting on you.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all, man.
Bring them on there.
We appreciate y'all, man. And that's what I was saying too about what Dennis said earlier when he was on our podcast. If y'all don't remember, go ahead and revisit that episode. When he was talking about if you don't have anything on your plate, then you won't be full. And that's the whole thing about what we're talking about now. There's a lot on our plates as far as skills and talents. What are we doing with these skills and talents is our question. What are we doing with the money is the question. What are we doing with these skills that we possessing? That's the question. That is the question. Man, let's get it lit, man. Let's start to have this conversation, because if we don't have this conversation, we are going to fall by the wayside. Not just African Americans, but us as Americans, us as the people, white people. It doesn't matter when you shut down having real conversations because you don't want to offend anybody. You want to know what that is? It's called control. You being controlled. You heard it here first on BMore4Real. Stop being under control because somebody wants to censor your message. Again, stop being under control because somebody wants to censor your message. Get what you got to say out of there. And if you're wrong, be able to receive the same criticism and be as bold with receiving this criticism as you were with giving a message out. That would be my thing.
There you go. We got to pull together. Listen, black, white, orange, green. We got to pull together. In order to get through this, we pull together. All of us. It's just we have different issues that we need to address. But we all have issues, but we have to take care of them together. And you know that. There's no other way. We got to address each other's issues. It's just sometimes people don't seem to understand what we're going through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we put up Black Lives Matter, when people say, oh, all lives matter, you know, that's so insulting to us. It's like we never said that other was not important. We're just saying Black Lives Matter too. You know? We know all of them lives matter, but in order to, if you understand where we are coming from, we understand where you coming from, then we'll work together to grow.
Excuse my language, but I ain't saying that shit. I'm saying black lives do not matter to black people. I disagree. But what we're trying to focus on, and what I do understand what he's saying, is that we're trying to make sure, excuse me, we're trying to make sure that black lives matter to black people so that they will matter to the world.
That's true.
And that's the God honest truth. Because if our lives don't matter to us, we can't tell white people shit about killing us. We can't tell police shit about killing us because we doing the same thing to ourselves. So we need to take a page out of our own book and listen out of our own book. And we need to be willing to receive as much as we dish out as well. We said that on the last episode. We said it on previous episodes too. Black people have got this kind of like cancel and cut him out thing. No, forget all that, man. Let people say what they want to say. If not, then you won't even know what they thinking. You are a fool for just trying to shut them up.
You got
that's deep. I mean, come on, man. Let's be more for real. You know, let's be more for real podcast.
Be more for real.
Hey,
he
man.
just said the solution. You know what I mean? That falls for itself.
You got any other solution? You got? Hey,
that's
lay it on us. Lay it on us.
That works well.
Lay it on us, man.
Hey, it's our time. It's our turn, y'all. We've got to get it, and we've got to keep it right.
It's our time. It's our time. We got to do it right. We appreciate y'all, man. A whole hour, each and every single Wednesday, man. Come and get y'all weekly dose of reality, man.
7, 8.
Check us out. Now we streaming live on Instagram. We streaming live on YouTube. We streaming live on Facebook. We would much rather prefer you guys to go to YouTube, subscribe, comment on there so we can see your comments. Because I can't look at the comments on Facebook. He did well
tonight, y'all. He did well tonight.
Look, we appreciate the viewers nonetheless, man. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe for real. Don't just ninja watch our content, man. When you watch this, make sure you subscribe so you can make sure that we can continue on blessing to the people.
Y'all, that's how
Put
we
them
can
comments
get it
up in there.
Together.
Stay tuned next for Be More Babies, Be More for Real entertainment episode, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
I'm Uncle Wayne.
I'm OMG Danny. We out.